This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
Good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Natasha Ovoy. Thank you for joining us. The casket of the late Right Honourable Sir Julius Chan was taken into Parliament for one final tribute at the State Hall.
Governor-General, members of the Parliament, former MPs, the judiciary, and diplomats gathered to pay their respects in accordance with Sir Julius's will, which stipulated that his casket should not enter the chambers and he must be buried after 7 days. A 19-gun salute was fired by the Papua New Guinea Defence Force outside the Parliament, marking the solemn occasion. He was escorted by the PNG Defence Force to the APEC Port Moresby VIP terminal. Late Sir Julius, known as the father of Papua New Guinea's economy and finance, was then flown to New Ireland on a Royal Australian Air Force C-27J aircraft. At Kavieng Airport, Prime Minister James Marape, alongside senior ministers, received Sir Julius's body, which was accompanied by his children. Minister for Civil Aviation Walter Schnobelt and Treasurer Ian Ling-Starkey were also present. The body was later handed over to provincial authorities and the Provincial Assembly. Sir Julius Chan, a key figure in shaping the nation's future, will be remembered for his leadership and visionary spirit. His famous words, "When I look out across the sea, I think of the unknown. It is to that world of adventure that we all must go," will continue to inspire the generation. He will finally be put to rest at Churis according to his will. James Guken, National EMTV News.
Milne Bay MP Ricky Morris and the people of Alotau have extended their heartfelt sympathy to the family and people of New Ireland for the passing of a great leader. Mr. Morris said the late Sir Julius was a true legend and icon who laid the pillars of unifying a diversified country.
MP Morris expressed that it was an honor serving under his wisdom and guidance from the opposition, a truly unique and gifted national leader. He added that while the country misses his presence, his footprints and legacy will live forever, going down the nation's history. Finance Minister and Wapenamanda MP Mickey Kayok shared similar sentiments, describing the late Sir Julius as one of the country's most distinguished founding fathers. Minister Kayok emphasized that the late Sir Julius' remarkable journey and commitment in the development of the country's financial systems and currency has left a remarkable mark on our nation's history. He said his departure marks the end of an era, leaving an irreplaceable void in our country's political landscape, and his legacy will continue to inspire generations of Papua New Guineans. Meanwhile, New Ireland Provincial Administrator Richard Andia advised New Ireland people to have half-a-day operation today as a sign of respect for their leader and normal operations to resume tomorrow. Lauren Jimal, National EMTV News.
The 2025 legal year opens today with the theme Enhancing Public Confidence in Judiciary.
During the opening address, Papua New Guinea Law Society President Hubert Namani stated that the country's future is not in the hands of politicians alone.
Approach 50 years of independence, we must recognize the future of Papua New Guinea is not just in the hands of politicians, it is in our hands. We must all be change agents. We must reclaim the ideals of our forefathers. We must stand for the principles that built this nation. Papua New Guinea deserves better. Our people deserve better. The rule of law must prevail. In conclusion, let me embrace the wisdom of Proverbs 21:15. When justice is done, it brings joy to the righteous, but terror to the evildoers.
Attorney General and Minister for Justice Pilar Niningi highlighted that lawyers' professional conduct and delays in judgments affect justice in the country.
To carry this country forward. But as we all know, as stipulated in the Constitution, that delayed judgment is denying justice. Judicial Legal Services Commission came up with its first 6 months when the completed case, judge himself will do it, deliver judgments. After you complete it, you have 6 months to deliver judgment. But if you fail to do so, then Chief Justice and Deputy Chief Justice take over.
Adding to that, this was what Chief Justice Gibbs Salika said.
To deliver those judgments in a reasonable period of time, but on many occasions we have failed to achieve those results. And so I hope, judges, you have heard from the principal legal advisor to the National Executive Council and the president of the Papua New Guinea Law Society. You heard it from me and from the Deputy Chief Justice many times already, and from those judges who also support Deputy Chief Justice and myself.
The event was held at the Anglican Church in Boroko in the nation's capital. In support of the rule of law, police cadet officers marched in old Zulu uniforms. James Guken, National EMTV News.
Two warring clans of the Jika Melakamp tribe in Mount Hagen of Western Highlands Province hosted a peace ceremony to settle their tribal fights in the Rulgua village.
The tribal fight between two clans, Las Mindipamp and Kevalelemp, have erupted on the 14th of March last year over a death of a young boy near Okapana Market in Mount Hagen. In retaliation to the death, the other party took revenge that caused a death of an old man, which resulted in burning of properties and displacement of homes and the people living nearby. However, both parties came together in an agreement to pay compensation that was demanded from both sides, and it happened last year on the month of September. Francis Luke from Las Mindipamp clan, who lost his properties and homes, host a week. Meanwhile, representing the Las Mindipamp clan, Francis Luke now handed over a Bible to Kevalelemp clan for peace and harmony in the community.
Bishop, you walking on the Belize, let him strong block God can stop on them this la. Lo inside lo this la peace, you may find him out of him. Since lo every year, by me commemorate him this la day or him, by me even fellowship lo this la peace. Every year come up lo this la begin long every year long month, by me even fellowship lo to pung him long commemorate him this la peace you may walk in. And someday when you find him lo this la sell lo in. Now thank you lo Mr. One them. Now all brother upset you my family inside you may look him family or same last time leader blow me talk finish Nelson Kerwat also you may come lo one block family straight inside of family you may walk him so you may understand the peace was me want me travel fight go come but true and big man come so you may plan you may come up with things like thank you lo Mr. One them all pastors evangelists all sideline you may bring one them now walk him this like come up possible now.
During a closing ceremony of the crusade, Francis Luke, a younger brother Lennis Luke, said he is now at peace to come back and resettle in his own village.
This incident in Kalam time, and we love people come to us. I'm not lying to come, but I mean, or immediate family for me. Still, art will be got one and blockage start. Because art will come. But now we looking for some on legally work, atmosphere stable. We looking for some or online camera, you got booking for now finish. Now it's me, but I'm saying, make your house, make garden, me for stable, me got big lamp, we must straight. Now, I will, resident will, be at the world, we should now, but me come say, make house, make garden, cleaning bush place for me. Now it's me for stable, so me to stable.
Mr. Luke said there will be no more trouble fights erupt regarding this situation. Edward Luke, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
The Consultative Implementation and Monitoring Council has commenced a week-long information workshop training today on citizens' participatory budget and planning in Mendi Munihu district of the Southern Highlands province.
Participants stand up in numbers as early as 7 a.m. today to be part of the training workshop at Christian Apostolic Church at Tente in Mendi Town. Executive Officer of Consultative and Implementation and Monitoring Council, Wallace Yakam, said this training aims to address information gaps and educate the citizens to understand how the government systems and processes works, especially in the planning and budgeting of funds. Meanwhile, the workshop has raised various questions on district budget planning and how their members are representing them in Parliament. Mendi Muniu District Representative Sebastian Courier expressed concerns over the continuous landslide and flood in their areas due to geographical location and the lack of government services in the area for many years. Mendi Muniu District Representative Sebastian Courier expressed concerns over the continuous landslide and flood in their areas due to geographical location and the lack of government services in the area for many years. Pastor Carlos Moses from Pipe Village in Mendi District said there has been continuous tribal clashes over the years, but nothing has been done to address these issues in the district. He added that people need to know if the province has budget for these conflicts. In response, Yakam said all their questions and opinions are noted and will be presented to the Council for further consultations. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Start your day the smart way with the new Smart Start Breakfast Biscuit. Whether you are busy or on a budget, Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits gives you a healthy and affordable breakfast to set you up for school or play. Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits are fortified with essential vitamins for body or brain health. They contain vitamin A for healthy growth and development, vitamin B6 for healthy metabolism, immune system and brain development, and vitamin B12 for nerve and cell health. Proudly made by Paradise Foods.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Remember the joy of playing with your toys as a child? At Morning Plus, we believe that every small business deserves a chance to build and grow. That's why we offer asset financing.
Chance to building something new, to see a different point of view. With Morning Plus, we're ready to go.
Nipla Halivim Wari Belong You.
It's time to go back to school. Is this the place to go? Please don't forget the golden rule. Is this the place to go? Hey, mums and dads, don't make a fuss. Is this the place to go? Get the school supplies from us. Is this the place to go? Everything you need for school. Is this the place to go? Be sure to keep the teacher cool. Is this the place to go? Ring, ring goes the bell.
Theatist for all your school stationery. As PNG's only ISO-accredited bulk haulage operator, IPI Transport guarantees the delivery of your critical cargo. Equipped with state-of-the-art GPS tracking systems and backed by an experienced team, you can rely on IPI Transport, part of the IPI group of companies.
It's becoming increasingly more important to deal with money laundering and countering terrorist financing.
Join us tonight at 7 as we feature discussions on the practice of money laundering.
Areas involving politically exposed persons, reporting of suspicious transactions, DNFPB's record keeping and customer diligence all need to be improved.
That's on tonight.
You're watching National EMTV News. Kujib Nazarene Hospital in Jiwaka Province has resumed normalcy after the hospital's operation has been suspended following locals from the vicinity of the surrounding community attacking the hospital staff. The hospital's chief executive officer, Joseph Sika, said the hospital staff and Nazarene Mission suspended operations last week following what he described was a lack of response by the local police in handling their complaint.
And also up in the Highlands, if the police can be able to do their due diligence to do the arrest once a complaint is made, we will have no issue. But we do know that once a complaint is made, arrests probably are never done or are not given a priority. And so one way to actually draw attention is to actually have the facility completely closed. That's what happened, and our condition is that once the suspects are arrested, formally charged, then our desire is accomplished and that we are free to open the hospital services again.
It was reported that the hospital staff filed a complaint to police following an attack on the staff by locals. Mr. Sika reminded that the Kujib Nazarene Hospital is Jiwaka's provincial hospital and hence its operation, along with its staff, ought to be respected.
Those were one of those times we felt that the safety and security of our staffs were at risk, because the incident actually happened at the place of work under patient care when my staff was actually caring for a patient. The event that actually happened after that was not really warranted, but we felt that for the safety of our staff and so forth, it will be better for us to actually take the step that we've undertaken.
Commenting on this was the Jiwaka Provincial Police Commander, Chief Inspector Laimo IC, warning the people in Jiwaka.
And very important asset in the community. And looking at the Jiwaka, Kujib Hospital, Nazarene Hospital is one of those hospitals that serves nearly all province. And warning to the people in Jiwaka is, leave the hospital alone. Allow the sick people or mothers, other emergencies that coming on board to be treated if there. People should not hold ransom of the hospitals, schools, or even police stations. Yes, providing service to the community.
He went on to encourage that institutions of service to the public, especially health, should be respected. Residents of the Ezekiel 37 community, located at Last Warakum behind the Dog Unit Barracks in Mount Hagen, have raised serious concerns over the installation of gas power transmission pylons in their area. The community, home to the Moge Akelka and Moge Komunka tribes, claims that there was a lack of proper awareness before the pylons were erected, and now they are being asked to vacate their homes and land within a 15-meter radius of the pylons and electrical wires. A concerned representative of the community, Mr. Joseph Raima, expressed frustration over the lack of initial consultation.
Why me talk about simple, and because awareness lo first point long sanabim tawa all awareness good. Now long second, third, fourth time me saw some power em got big bla wait lig na kam. So from that all talk was all barasim all hours and need long power line na 15 meters clearance along left and right.
He further explained that their village, located near the town, is more like an urban settlement and relocating would be extremely difficult.
So I'm 1 plus something. I'm 1 plus something. I'm crowded. I'm Miplombo Bolowe. I'm Miplombo Stablo, Nabla Samblo tribe, all Bastablo and Miplombo am hot because Lucy Mouse line brother tribe, Miplombo am Bahate. And Bahat so Miplombo Bahat move.
The residents are not opposing the power project but are requesting a reconsideration of the pylon placements. Mr. Raima stated that the community wants the pylons to be removed from residential areas and relocated to either the riverside or the mountain range, where there are no settlements nearby. He emphasized that the community's concerns are not driven by financial demands, but by the need for a fair and proper process.
Money me blow like him. Government service and big plus something. Emba come go. But Emba's come go lo way blongen. Look at man's a silly plan is something but come go because starting long I become osem come lo big boost no jungle come. Come osem lo come long village side so me blow less. Mibla less so Mibla like him. Service must go down the water side or go end up range.
The community is now calling on the relevant authorities to engage in meaningful dialogue and find a solution that ensures both the success of the power project and the well-being of the concerned residents. Natasha Ovoy, National, EMTV News. And New Guinea announced that following the establishment and opening of refueling facilities on the 1st of February by partners Octedi Mining Limited and Pacific Energy Aviation Limited, New Guinea has resumed its flights to Kiunga and Tabubil, effective as of yesterday, Sunday the 2nd of February. New Guinea noted that compliant, sustainable and appropriate jet fuel solutions have now been re-established in Tabubil, Kiunga, Mount Hagen and Lae. This comes from the collaborative effort between Octedi Mining Limited, the Pacific Energy Aviation Limited and the airline, of which New Guinea highlighted is essential for maintaining safe flight operations traveling to and from Kiunga and Tabubil. The availability of fuel at these 4 locations will now permit the airline to carry more passengers and freight on routes to other highlands and Momase destinations. New Guinea is looking forward to the establishment of similar fuel facilities at locations such as Rabaul and Vanimo. Apologizing for inconvenience caused by fuel availability issues, the airline stated that it remains dedicated to working with partners Octedi Mining Limited and the Pacific Energy Aviation Limited to resolve the remaining supply challenges as quickly as possible, whilst prioritizing the safety and comfort of the customers. The Morobe Provincial Works Office and Lae City Authority have been closely monitoring the construction of major road upgrades in Lae to ensure the constructions are completed on time as scheduled.
The Morobe Provincial Works Office looks after major reconstruction works such as new concrete surfacing projects, while the Lae City Authority looks after the portion of the roadwork maintenance. The Department of Works and Highways oversees the construction of drainage and concrete surfacing from 2nd 7 Dump to Busu Bridge. The 3.0 kilometer section project is funded by the national government. It is noted that the government has been supportive through the Office of the Secretary and the project is progressing well within time and on schedule. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
And now we take a look at the Nesfan market report. The kina closed unchanged at 0.2494 US dollars in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying 0.2419 US dollars, 0.3912 Australian dollars, 0.2289 euro, and 37.22 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed lower, copra closed unchanged, palm oil closed higher, crude oil is trading higher, and copper closed unchanged. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Meet the bank for everyone, everywhere. As People's Microbank, we were proud to be a bank for the people. Now as National Banking Corporation, we are bringing modern banking to all in Papua New Guinea. With more branches and our friendly staff ready to assist you in more places, we are making money matters simple and fair. So wherever you are, however you say it, say hello better banking. Learn more at nbcpng.com.pg.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guide. True Guide, true inspiration through generations.
Join me on House and Home for all your home and lifestyle improvements.
I'm living business for me, no. Okay, boss friend for me, kay for me.
From Hatok Mom, health and fitness, interest stories, gardening tips, out and about, pet care, and many more. Join me every Tuesday, 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Hi kids, I'm Steffi. Join me on Kids Corner for story time, simple and creative arts and crafts, career corner, nature time, field trips, and not forgetting our cartoons and children entertainment shows. Join me every weekdays from 3:30 to 5:30 for Kids Corner on your number one to watch, EMTV.
You're watching National EMTV News. And now moving to overseas news. Donald Trump has acknowledged that his new tariffs might cause Americans some pain, but says it will be worth the cost. Both Canada and Mexico are promising to retaliate in kind to the new tariffs, escalating the chance of a full-blown trade war.
Yeah, so the American president took to his Truth Social platform today to suggest that, yes, he was aware that by slapping these tariffs on America's 3 major trading partners that American consumers could face some pain, but he says it will be worth the price that needs to be paid. He does seem to be certain that these tariffs will be imposed this week, which could cause great dislocation in the trading relationship between these countries. America, Mexico and Canada are part of USMCA. That's the revamped version of the old NAFTA agreement. Donald Trump changed that in his first term, but he doesn't seem to be comfortable with how much free trade is occurring between Canada, Mexico and the United States. His rationale seems to be mostly about the movement of migrants into America, both from Mexico, but also it seems quite strangely also from Canada, which is a very small percentage of migrants entering the United States without authorization, but also the flow of illegal drugs, particularly fentanyl, into the country. Canada has expressed being perplexed by America's fixation on this issue. They say they've been working hand in hand with America on issues around the border and about combating fentanyl. So they do think it's strange that they seem to have been lumped in with Mexico on this issue. But they have already announced their own retaliation. Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, says that they will be more targeted tariffs on American products, outlining specific products that will be hit with tariffs when they're exported from the United States into Canada. That seems to be a very deliberate political move to put pressure here in America politically on Donald Trump, because it will make those people producing those goods aware that this is a response directly to the broad tariffs that are being placed on Canada. But we're also going to get more details from Mexico about their countermeasures. They say they will be both tariffs and non-tariffs. Now, we are hearing from most economists that they do expect that this could lead to a bout of inflation here in the United States. It's directly going to push up the goods of the cost of those goods coming from those 3 countries. But there, of course, can be flow-on effects as well. And we have also heard from China talking about its own retaliation, including going to the World Trade Organization.
A dedicated police strike force monitoring anti-Semitic attacks has recently arrested and charged a man with alleged stalking and intimidation of women in Sydney's east.
So police released this morning that a 21-year-old man will face court today over the alleged stalking and intimidation of a woman in Bondi, where I am right now. Now, it was in the early hours of Saturday morning, around 7:40 a.m, where a woman actually flagged down police from this proactive and investigative police unit called Strike Force Pearl. They deal with looking at anti-Semitic incidents, and she alleges that this man made a series of comments towards her while she was at her home along Flood Street in Bondi. And it was there that this man was then found by police sometime later and at a unit in Bondi, and was charged not only over this offence but also over other unrelating offences within the and Newtown, including property and personal violence offences as well, I should say. All of those charges will be heard in a first mention today in local court, though.
Severe thunderstorms that ripped through Victoria last night, causing flash flooding in southwest Melbourne, and new out-of-control bushfires have popped up across the state, with temperatures set to soar today.
Here at the State Control Centre, we've been given an update on just how dire some of the areas are in terms of the fires. There are 2 emergency warnings. That is near the Little Desert area, National Park area, and also down in the Grampians. Now, as for the Little Desert National Park area, there is an emergency warning for residents in Perone and also Moria. Now, that is due to a fast-moving bushfire that has jumped containment lines and it is out of control. It it is heading in a westerly direction, and so the advice now is that it is too late to leave and people need to take shelter immediately to survive, because that bushfire is now threatening lives and homes east of the Conniva Eden Hope Road. So that is really a very difficult situation for firefighters there at the moment as they battle these extreme conditions. Also to the southwest of that, we have this emergency warning for Miranatwa. Now that is the southern arm of the Grampians National Park, and once again that's the national park where we've seen more than 76,000 hectares destroyed, and also around 25 homes as well lost over that early January period. But these conditions, these very hot conditions, have led to the fires jumping containment lines, and so now we have an emergency warning for people to leave immediately before conditions become too dangerous as that fire moves in a southerly direction.
Thousands of residents are being told to evacuate North Queensland as life-threatening flooding hits the region.
Parts of Townsville have copped more than a metre of rain in just a couple of days. And there are currently 4 emergency warnings in place across the so-called black zone. This covers the suburbs of Cluden, Hermit Park, Idalia, Anoonba, Railway Estate, Rosslea and Bluewater. Council modelling suggests at least 1,700 homes could be inundated. One person has died in the floods after an SES boat capsized in Ingham, north of Townsville. Power has been cut to more than 10,000 properties across the state and more than 100 schools are closed. State and federal governments are working to mobilise all possible resources.
Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has flown to the United States to discuss the war in Gaza with the US President Donald Trump.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has flown to Washington, D.C. for a meeting with US President Donald Trump. He says he'll discuss the ceasefire as well as other issues about the Middle East. But Mr. Netanyahu has reportedly cancelled a meeting with Israel's negotiating team and decided not to send them to meet mediators. That's causing a lot of consternation here because people are afraid the Prime Minister will seek to restart the war in Gaza, something he already promised one cabinet minister in exchange for his support for Phase 1 of the deal. In Phase 2, there's meant to be a declaration of a sustainable calm and the return of all living hostages. But what hasn't happened yet is a discussion about who will govern Gaza, if not Hamas, and many Israelis are dismayed to see that the group still appears well armed and in control of large parts of Gaza. That may well be one of Mr. Netanyahu's key arguments for returning to the fighting, because Israel's yet to achieve the total victory over Hamas, the complete disablement of the group as a military force that Mr. Netanyahu promised was one of Israel's key military goals. We will find out later this week, after Mr. Netanyahu's meeting with Donald Trump, just exactly how Israel plans to proceed. But the Qataris, who are key mediators of this ceasefire deal, some of the key brokers over this conflict, have said that Hamas and Israel are yet to agree on a venue and an agenda for the talks, and they are critical to working out how Phase 2 of the ceasefire will be implemented.
National EMTV News continues after the break with Chukai Sports. Stay with us.
Accept the challenge. Choose PNG's favorite purified bottled water. True Wara, 100% PNG made.
Proudly bottled by Paradise Foods.
Meet the bank for everyone, everywhere. As People's Microbank, we were proud to be a bank for the people. Now as National Banking Corporation, we are bringing modern banking to all in Papua New Guinea. With more branches and our friendly staff ready to assist you in more places, we are making money matters simple and fair. So wherever you are, however you say it, say hello better banking. Learn more at nbcpng.com.pg.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Kids, it's time to go back to school. Is this the place to go? Please don't forget the golden rules. Is this the place to go? Hey, mums and dads, don't make a fuss. Is this the place to go? Get the school supplies from us. Is this the place to go? Everything you need for school. Is this the place to go? Be sure to keep the teacher cool. Is this the place to go? Ring, ring goes the bell.
Theatist for all your school stationery.
Dreaming for more than the life we've known. There is more to what the future holds. You be holy, man, no walk one time. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to believe in incredible things. Oh, 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 oh. With money plus we're ready to go.
This coming Wednesday on Kai Time.
Not our style of eating, that's gone, because our customer base is only about 10 to 20%. But today's generation, those that are between the age of 20 to 45, you got to ask them what you want to eat, and you prepare food for them, for that age group.
Join us on Wednesday at 7 p.m. right here on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The POM Elite Basketball is gearing up for its highly anticipated second season following a successful inaugural season. As the POM Elite Basketball continues to grow, the league is extending an open invitation to new teams interested in joining the competition. Meanwhile, the top 8 playoffs for the KCK Rigo Rice Cup Leg 2 Challenge has ended following 2 last elimination matches of the Low 4.
Entry Bulldogs and Talai Spartans have advanced to the semi-finals from Low 4 after defeating Odes Magarima United and Baroni Development. On the top 4 challenge, Buria Reds and SS Dolphins have secured their preliminary final spot following their successful victory over Darebo Mixed Dogs and Vadatau Brothers. Both teams are on bye and will take on Low 4 winners next weekend. The tournament officials have extended their appreciation to all participating teams who've registered to participate in this segment of the tournament. Rigo Rice representative and tournament CEO Max Steve Polly has confirmed that the Leg 2 Grand Final will be held after 2 weeks, followed by commencement of the other 2 legs. On February 8 to 9th, the KCK Rigo Rice Cup will head into semi-finals for Leg 2, which will see 2 winners advancing into preliminary finals on the coming weekend. Pakatambua, Trukai Sports.
The Jiwaka Governors Cup semi-knockout games were played over the weekend at the Barnes Rugby League ground. Here are some highlights.
Western Stars is the first team to book the grand final spot for the Cup playoffs after defeating Bunning Rangers in a narrow win. In the Bowl playoffs, Minsk Surex is the first team to book the grand final spot after defeating Northern Pride 8 points to 4. In the do-or-die game for Cup playoffs, saw Komni Ka Walep too strong for Kindang United Brothers, beating them 16 points to 4. Another sudden death game for the Bowl playoffs saw Minsk Rajak Jets defeat Iwe Hornets 12 points to 10. And in the women's division, Minsk Rajak Jets scored the only unconverted try in the dying minutes to book the major semi-final spot. Pakatambua Trukai Sports.
And now looking at overseas sports. The Australian men's cricket coach Andrew McDonald has admitted he didn't think Matt Kuman would be fit to tour Sri Lanka after he injured his thumb in the Big Bash League.
The left-arm spinner ended up taking 9 wickets in Australia's first Test win as the visitors secured victory by an innings and 242 runs.
Out there performed it. He had no inhibitions leading in around fielding. It was a real surprise for me. I don't know how it works really, to be honest. I thought he was gone, but as it progressed and got close to the Test match, he was pretty much a lock, sort of 3 days out.
And in the NBL, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix have moved up to 4th on the ladder.
The Phoenix survived a massive fight back from the Adelaide 36ers in Melbourne. Having trailed by 23 points in the second half, Adelaide took the lead in the final term before the Phoenix steadied to win 105-99.
The AFL has finalised the full Indigenous All-Star squad for their clash against Fremantle in Perth.
7 All-Australians and 10 Premiership players are among the 31-player squad for the match on February 15th. Rio recruit, former Tiger Shea Bolton, is among 3 Dockers who's in line to play against his own club.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFund. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
As PNG's only ISO-accredited bulk haulage operator, IPI Transport guarantees the delivery of your critical cargo. Equipped with state-of-the-art GPS tracking systems and backed by an experienced team, you can rely on IPI Transport, part of the IPI group of companies.
Join me on House and Home for all your home and lifestyle improvements.
I'm living business Blomilo. Okay, boss friend Blomi, kay Blomi.
From Hatok Mom, health and fitness, interest stories, gardening tips, out and about, pet care, and many more. Join me every Tuesday 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, EMTV.
It's becoming increasingly more important to deal with money laundering and countering terrorist financing.
Join us tonight at 7 as we feature discussions on the practice of money laundering.
Areas involving politically exposed persons, reporting of suspicious transactions, DNFPB's record keeping and customer diligence all need to be improved.
That's on tonight.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
You're watching Chukai Sports. More on overseas sports. Australia has won its opening Davis Cup tie with a 3-1 win over Sweden in Stockholm.
Olympic gold medalists John Peers and Matt Ebden teamed up to win the doubles rubber after Alex de Minaur and Alexander Vukic played singles. The victory means Australia gets to host a home tie against Belgium or Chile in September.
Swiss rider Maro Smith has won the Cadel Evans Great Ocean Road in sweltering conditions in Victoria.
Riders set off facing a 184-kilometre ride in extreme heat along the Bellarine Peninsula and the Surf Coast, but riders had little time to enjoy the views. 4 climbs up Geelong's notorious Shallambra Hill played a key role in the outcome, especially as the temperatures hit 41 degrees. Schmid broke away in the final stages and held on to claim the win.
And that ends Chukai Sports. The Morning Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports. Chukai Sports.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family, living each day knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Start your day the smart way with the new Smart Start Breakfast Biscuit. Whether you are busy or on a budget, Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits gives you a healthy and affordable breakfast to set you up for school or play. Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits are fortified with essential vitamins for body or brain health. They contain vitamin A for healthy growth and development, vitamin B6 for healthy metabolism, immune system and brain development, and vitamin B12 for nerve and cell health. Proudly made by Paradise Foods.
Kids, it's time to go back to school. Is this the place to go? Please don't forget the golden rule. Is this the place to go? Hey, mums and dads, don't make a fuss. Is this the place to go? Get the school supplies from us. Is this the place to go? Everything you need for school. Is this the place to go? Be sure to keep the teacher cool. Is this the place to go? Ring, ring goes the bell.
Theatist for all your school stationery.
Join me every Thursday night as Sports Scene brings to you all the local and international sporting updates. Revisiting our legendary athletes.
Hi, this is David Mead.
Highlighting our local sports developments across the nation.
All eyes on Auckland now, an NRL team based here.
To create a pathway.
And our talented rising stars.
Hi, my name is Gemma Schnobel and you're watching
all the younger ones will follow.
Sports Scene, Thursday nights at 7 p.m. only on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Dreaming for more than the life we've known. There is more to what the future holds. You me holy man, no walk one time. Oh, oh, oh.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
Now looking at the weather report for the next 24 hours. In the southern region, Port Moresby City, mostly cloudy with chances of few showers and possible thunderstorms. Daru, partly cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorms. Kerema, mostly cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Alotau, cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorms. And Popondetta, cloudy periods with rain showers and possible thunderstorms. In the Momase region, Lay City, cloudy with some rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Medang, cloudy periods with rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Wewak, cloudy with some rain showers and possible thunderstorm. And Vanimo, cloudy with some rain showers and possible thunderstorm. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, partly cloudy. Kavieng, partly cloudy. Kokopo and Rabaul, partly cloudy with possible few showers. Kimbe, partly cloudy with possible few showers. And Buka, partly cloudy with possible few showers. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen City, cloudy with some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Goroka, Barnes and Kundiawa, cloudy with rain showers and thunderstorms. And Mendi, Tari and Wabek, cloudy periods with some rain showers and thunderstorms. Now looking at small ships forecast, waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Islands to Kerema, seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters. Waters of Yule Island to Hood Point to Samarai Island, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Samarai Island to Cape Vogel and All Milling Bay Islands, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of Cape Vogel to Huon Gulf to Fincher Fen, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Fincher Fen through Vitiers Strait to CSC Long Island to Medang, seas 2 to 3 meters. Waters of Medang to Wewak to Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border, seas 1 to 2 rising to 3 meters. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of New Ireland to East New Britain to Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. And waters of West New Britain, seas 1 to 2 meters. And now looking at the ocean forecast, Coral Sea sees moderate to rough to patchy rough over the western sector. West to northwest winds of 10 to 20 knots. Solomon Sea sees slight to moderate northwest to northerly winds of 10 to 20 knots. Bismarck Sea sees slight to moderate northeast to northwest winds of 10 to 20 knots. And the Pacific Ocean sees moderate to patches rough, sees northeast winds of 15 to 25 knots.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Monday, the 3rd of February 2025. From all of us here, pleasant viewing and good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits